Hi everyone, my name is Shannon Gibney and I am a local kidlit author.
Hi there, I'm Gianna from Family Fun Twin Cities, and this is the Let's Go Do Fun Stuff show. Today we have the pleasure of introducing you to Shannon Gibney, who is a local author. I was introduced to her through Kao Kalia Yang. That's my dog saying hello. I've been super excited to meet her in person. After some scheduling mishaps, we were finally able to meet at Mayday Cafe in South Minneapolis. The sound quality of this video isn't the best because I think my mics weren't actually working very well, but I think our conversation will still be worth listening to. Shannon and I talk about a lot of things, and so if you have more questions about those things, we will have links in the show notes. Now let's get started and learn about Shannon's newest picture book, We Miss You, George Floyd.
This is my new children's picture book, We Miss You, George Floyd, and it's going to be published by University of Minnesota Press on November 12th, so you can get it everywhere that books are sold at that point. I have two children, so it's based on my daughter, my wonderful illustrator Leah Rose Jackson, who is just a fantastic local visual artist. She based a lot of her pictures in the book on my daughter, who's also a visual artist. The book is about this young girl who is struggling to process the George Floyd murders and their aftermath, the uprisings. And she lives like 10 to 13 blocks from where it happened. She goes to school a block from where it happened on George Floyd Square. And so she travels one day with her family to George Floyd Square, and she sees all the art, she sees all the community, and she gets involved. Yeah. So,
What made you get into kidlit?
yeah, that's a great question. So my first novel is called See No Color. It's about a mixed black girl adopted into a white family. So it's, very autobiographical. But the main character is a teenager. And so, the writer's life, like many artists' life, is all about rejection and honing your craft through that. So the person who got the book, the first book, happened to be an author of children's literature, Andrew Carr. And so he and I have worked, we just last year released our third book together. So, you just can't sort of help who gets your work. So it was released as a YA novel. Now, as somebody, I identify also as a mixed black woman too. So, as somebody who eschews and occupies many different identity categories and just categories, whatever, it's like I know that human beings, we need categories to organize things. But at the same time, I find them to be sometimes very oppressive and
Not helpful.
Not helpful at all. And so a lot of my work is crossover.
Okay.
A lot of my work, it doesn't fit into one category or the other. I will say, since having children and since my children have been growing, I have been writing more books with children protagonists.
Okay.
Yeah. My kids, their dad is Liberian, I'm African American, as I said, and so that's like a really particular experience. And to me, I always say all art should be about, in some way, what it means to be a human being at this time, at this place, right? And so for me, so much of what it means to be a human being in this time, in this place, is about my children.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Speaking of kids, it was really fun to connect with Shannon about our families. See, she's cool. We even said for sure at the same time. We also have kids about the same age.
Okay, great.
Yeah. My oldest, though, is in college, and my youngest is in ninth grade.
Okay, how many do you have?
4.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yes, but even if you 4 kids or 1 kid, being a mom is being a mom.
That is a good point.
The only thing that's a little different is how much you drive. Not that you are driving, but how much.
I know. I'm getting like scared that my son is going to be driving soon, and then I'm also like, oh, wait.
Freedom!
There's people who are on the other side are like, oh, you can then tell him to drive other people around in your household.
Will you go to the store?
Yeah, totally. Pick up some milk.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, I have to, yes, definitely. I'd like to get some practice in.
Right.
I'd like to get some milk for my cereal as well. Let's go. I'm ready for those days.
You'll love it. Getting there is like the most tedious thing ever, but you will love it.
Yeah. And I live in Powderhorn Park, and my kids go to Bancroft Elementary, and my son is a 9th grader at South, so that was a big transition this year. It's still a big transition. Yeah, and I love this neighborhood. Where I'm sitting with you in Mayday Cafe, which is just like it's just this hub of activity, as you can see, and has been since I've lived in Powderhorn, which has been 20 years.
She was saying hello to many people here before we started.
Which is wonderful. It's wonderful to have that sense of community, particularly in these times when those community connections can be breaking down.
They could be breaking down, but you need them.
You need them. We all need them. We need each other. We need our social beings.
Yeah. Okay, so since this is Family Fun Twin Cities, and we talk about fun things to do with your family in the Twin Cities, what are a few things that I'm not going to say pick your one thing, unless you only have one?
No, we have many things.
What are some fun things you like to do around here?
Okay, well, when my kids were younger, we would go to the indoor playgrounds. Like, I know that those are also like just breeding grounds for illness too. So, pick your poison.
Yep.
Whether being literally with your kids like inside all the time or not. My kids love parks. They love to run around. We're really lucky. We live, as I said, in the city, but I have a big backyard, and I have actually a big house for living in the city, not for the suburbs, but for the city. I have 2 bathrooms. Ooh,
We just got to.
Yeah.
So I get it.
It's just and my kids each have their own room, and we have a game room. We have these things that my kids' friends don't have, and so we're kind of the kid house.
Nice.
So we love having people over. We have potlucks sometimes, and then family game night with friends is really fun.
What are some of your favorite games?
We love this game called Pusheen.
I don't think Wait, is it with little cats?
It's with the cat.
Okay.
And it doesn't sound like you're Pusheen, whatever, but it's actually fun for grown-ups too. That's probably our favorite game. My kids like Exploding Kittens. I'm still a little bit I don't understand all of this.
I think that's
game.
the point.
Yeah, I don't, but they like that one. My son likes all these other slay something. I don't even know. My daughter and I are he suggests it, and we're always no, we're not doing that one. I'm play it with your friends. Yeah. And then we'd love to just go. The Powderhorn Park is about 4 blocks, maybe 3 blocks from our house, and so that's just a wider space for my kids. My son likes to play basketball with his friends over there. My daughter likes to play in the playground with her friends. They both do Parks and Rec, soccer, and other things over there. And of course, Powderhorn Park has everything. We just went to see the Bare Bones puppet show.
The Halloween puppet show.
Yeah.
Do you walk with them, right? Is that okay? Yeah.
So it's so it's there's a lot of different things that we love to do just in our hood here, and then if we can in the summers and stuff, we love to go camping.
Where do you go camping? Are you state park campers?
We're state park campers. We also have dear friends in Colorado.
Did mention that.
So we go camping with them a lot, and so that's that's basically the one camping trip every year that we know we're gonna take. My son also does Menagen Wilderness Boundary Waters camps too every year, so those are also great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A lot of stuff. Yeah. A lot of good stuff. My kids also love Adventures in Cardboard Camp. We do that. Like, it's so many things.
Years ago, I met Julian McFarland here in this cafe.
In this very cafe.
We learned all about Adventures in Cardboard.
Yeah, that is like every single kid. If you don't know, you don't know. And if you know, you know.
Right.
And so, I mean, Adventures in Cardboard, I think every camp in the Twin Cities that I know for kids, every kid that I know has been to Adventures in Cardboard, it then becomes their favorite camp.
Yeah.
Because it's world building, it's running through the woods screaming at your friends, it's like capture the flag on steroids.
Yeah.
Like it's there's nothing bad about it.
My son, who is 16, learned about it, not apparently from me, even though I knew all about it, but from his friend, and he goes, "Mom, why have I never gotten to do that?" And I'm like, "I told you about it, I'm sure."
Yeah. I mean, he can be a counselor in training. My son now has been all the way through, so he has a whole plan with his friends, like 3 of them. They're going to be counselors in training this year, and then they're going to be counselors.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like a whole pipeline thing. Like, to me, that's also like, it's a beautiful Powderhorn thing. Like, what you were saying about Julian, like, it's just like there's all these like weird kind of scrappy artists and builders here that just like build stuff that you're just like,
Doesn't fit in the norm, but fits perfectly
for like,
this.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, Shannon, for chatting with us today. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your heart. Thank you for all your work, including your books and essays. And thank you for being a part of our community. And now, it's your turn to go do fun stuff. You can't really not talk about the election, but we're gonna not, because I don't know when this is gonna come out, and I'll probably just cut that. What's it like to live here? Okay, so I was trying to remember everything I wanted to talk to you about, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't forget something like that.
Yeah.
The whole family, hopefully.
She's super fun, and I've only spoken to her now for 20 minutes.
So yeah, I would say my PR people everywhere. Like unpaid.
Right.
So appreciate that. Yeah, exactly.